Hello, folks. Welcome to Alexander 2222. I'm Alexander, and it's currently 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 93 degrees humidity, and wind speed is 5 miles per hour. So, how have you been? It's Monday. You're alive. You're surviving. Hello, Brent. Welcome. So, midnight. We're here again. Our old friend. I've been thinking a little bit about creativity. So, as far as, creativity goes, it's what we do with things. It's what we do with our imagination. It's you could say making your imagination come to life. Which creativity can be expressed in many ways. Whether it be the way you do up your semi-truck, or the way you draw something. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be actual physical art in order for creativity to be expressed. Creativity is in its basis form, goes all the way down to creating the wheel. So, that being said, it's just, what makes you create things? Why do we create things? It's kind of a interesting question in some ways. So I've kind of had this saying that I like to exploit what I have to get what I want. Now it sounds really bad on the uptick, which is the point of it. In my mind, it's a shocking phrase. It's like, I exploit what I want. Can't even say my own quotes right. I exploit what I have to get what I want. So it's the same sense of a MacGyver. I've got, or Fred from Scooby-Doo, I've got 5 paper clips, stick of chewing gum, and a straw from the soda fountain. What can I do with that? Or you look at a problem, and depending on your creativity, it's like, I need to get from A to B. There's a big gorge. How do I get across there? And it's like, from a standpoint, and some of this can be learned from experience in a lot of ways. And it's like, how do I get from A to B? What do I need to get there? So you already know, oh, I need something that can hold, say, 150 pounds and is, 6 feet long. Whatever. And so you can search your surroundings and think in your mind, I already know what kind of material I need, and then you find, oh, I have a bunch of sticks. Well, they're not strong enough together, so I'll get bundles of sticks. Well, how do I tie it together? And then it breaks down from there again. Oh, I need something flexible that I can wrap around something. So it kind of builds and builds and builds and builds until you have exactly what you need. But in my mind, you're exploiting everything, which by definition, exploit is not always bad. Make full use and derive benefit from a resource. So make full use. So not just, it's like a hammer. It has one head, has a head on one side, and often, a common hammer has a claw on the back side. So you can hit the nail, and you can also pull the nail out with the claw. It's like, you could always just hit nails in, and then you go get something else to pull it out. Well, you're not exploiting what that hammer does. So, in the same sense, yes. I mean, exploit has a lot of bad uses. Use a situation or person in an unfair or selfish way. Which, that would be using people. No. I don't mean using people in an unfair way. Benefit unfairly from work of someone, typically by overworking or underpaying them. No. But exploit is also known as a bold or daring feat. So by exploiting resources, as in inanimate objects, you perform an exploit, which is a daring feat. So kind of, back and forth, however you want to look at it. In that same sense, I've seen artists take they draw just a weird, squiggle, so per se, just a random shape, and they draw inside of it to get a picture that you wouldn't think just fit in that random shape. It's like, what? He got that from that? You wouldn't have guessed that you started with just a random squiggle. It's the same sense. It's like, okay, I'm stuck in this box. I don't have to be conformed by the box. I don't have to be my life doesn't have to be dictated by the box. I'm in the box. I'm me. I can take what I have around me and make still something that's my own, that is me, with what I have. And so in that sense, exploiting what you have to get what you want. And again, that can be taken all kinds of ways. And, exactly. It's just a thought. It's something to think about. How, in your work, in your life, in your daily life, and just how am I taking everything and using it to its fullest potential? Could I make things more efficient? How could I, if I, fold the towel over once, it's, this big. But if I fold it 3 times, it's only this big. So then I can fit more in a drawer. It's just a bunch of, in a sense, random ideas, but I just find it fascinating. I like that kind of stuff. It's my personality. I did that personality test, and I came out as a logician. So basically, I choose logic over emotion. And I have the same personality type as Einstein. So, yeah, kind of. It said I made up 3% of the population with my personality type. Go figure. I had to be a weird one, right? But yeah, just that, am I using what I have to my fullest? And I've always, been a jerry-rigger, in a sense. It's like, I don't have the money to buy a fancy tripod, so, I'll take this mug that's about the right height, and it's like, this candle, it melted down with a dip, so I can set my phone in there, and you tape it all together, and you get what you need. When I was a kid, my parents were nice enough to let me have a fake plastic tree in my house, or my room. Yeah, of course my room was in my house. I wasn't a complete animal, but I could, I had that tree in my room. Just those generic Walmart ones you would see. They had the stupid woven basket on the bottom. And they were plastic fake trees. And so I had a string of lights in there Mom gave me. And then I got these other cheap little baskets, and I had, my string. And I would tie it up, and I'd fit them in there and cut cardboard, and I made tree houses in there for like my men and my G.I. Joes. And again, it's like, I saw something I wanted, and I got there, and that comes from a level of creativity. Now going back to the creativity, where does that come from? If we don't, some people are just straight up creative. They can just look at something and bam, they got it. Other people, I feel like if we expand our point of view and look at other things and even see how people do the same thing different ways, like with math, there's multiple ways to get to the same problem, there's multiple ways to get the same answer with a math problem. So, it feels like if you learn different ways how to do things, you can see what works better for you, and also it just expands your mind on and helps your creativity because you can see how other things can be used. So, for our Monday, that's how you have it. Creativity, exploiting what you have to get what you want. Now, you do that the selfish way, with non-inanimate objects, and, you'll pay the consequences. You'll burn a lot of bridges and a lot of stuff will happen, But, yeah, you have a great sleep, a good evening. You still got a bit of time left on the West Coast. So enjoy it. Get all rested for a new day tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow.